Tell me, beauty, whose child is this?
He forcibly dragged my longbow away, and forced him to undergo blood recognition with every azure dragon in the clan. For 30 days and nights, Longbow's blood flowed so much it nearly formed a thin stream. When he was finally returned to my arms, barely breathing, all we received was a cold verdict. He is indeed of dragon blood. At that very moment, news arrived that my half-sister had borne him, a supreme 5-clawed golden dragon. He completely lost his mind, and beheaded Longbow on the spot. Then he cast me into the abyssal ice caverns to be tortured day after day, forcing me to keep my eyes open, and watch my own blood drain away, drop by drop. Yet when I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the day of the Dragon Clan's consort selection.
Do you even know that Yunji is the one with the true golden dragon body?
An elder not far away shouted angrily, yanking me back to reality. I looked up, and met Long Ao's eyes brimming with hatred. The next second, he flung aside his gold-embroidered robe,
and dropped heavily to his knees. Father King, Yun Ru and I are deeply in love, and have already pledged ourselves to each other. I will marry no one but her in this lifetime. I beg you to make her my crown princess.
My body swayed slightly. The chaos in my mind suddenly became crystal clear. I wasn't the only one who had returned. Long Ao had been reborn as well, carrying the memories of our past life. He had already made up his mind. He believed my half-sister was the one destined to bear a golden dragon. Little did he know that in my past life, had I not exhausted half my cultivation by using a forbidden secret art to compensate for his long sterile, ruined body, there would have been no offspring at all. In this life, he won't even be able to produce a single egg. The Dragon King looked at me, publicly rejected by the Crown Prince, his expression tinged with hesitation. I took a deep breath, closed my eyes, and suppressed the bone-deep hatred in my gaze. When I opened them again, only calm indifference remained.
Your Majesty the Dragon King, since His Highness the Crown Prince, and my sister Yun Ru are truly in love, I, Yun Ji, will naturally step aside to fulfill their wish.
I have nothing more to say, yet inwardly I sneered. In this lifetime, Long Ao, you are fated to leave no descendants. Hearing my words, Long Ao let out a cold snort. His eyes filled with open, undisguised disgust.
At least you know your place.
I figured you wouldn't dare say anything more. My half-sister Yunro, kneeling beside him, had eyes brimming with incredulous delight. She never imagined such overwhelming fortune would so easily fall straight into her lap. She turned to look at me, flaunting it openly, triumph written all over her face. I could only shake my head inwardly. Was this truly fortune, or the abyss of eternal ruin? She would find out in time. Long Ao insisted on marrying my half-sister. According to clan law, I could only be wed to the third prince, Long Qianma. In my memory, Long Qianma was a man gentle as polished jade, warm, refined and deeply considerate. In her past life, the concubine-born sister despised him for his humble origins, leaving him only a powerless, idle young prince. So she tormented him in every possible way. Yet no matter how unreasonable she was, he endured it all with patience and care. After the concubine sister gave birth to a golden dragon, he even dismissed all the women in his rear palace, showering all his favor upon her alone. Yet the concubine sister was willing to abandon such a loyal and devoted man, to cling instead to the hypocritical and cruel Long Ao, truly blinded by a single leaf before her eyes. After the consort selection ceremony ended, the Dragon King perhaps felt guilty toward me, and deliberately bestowed many rare treasures to my household. After returning home, my mother flew into a rage upon hearing the news, and bitterly scolded the Crown Prince for his ingratitude. My father sat nearby without saying a word, but from the flicker in his eyes, I knew he was weighing the pros and cons. Sure enough, that very afternoon, the concubine sister's biological mother was exceptionally elevated to the status of secondary wife. Yunro thus transformed overnight, and gained the status of a legitimate daughter, making her worthy of matching the Crown Prince. Not long after, Yunro came to see me, dressed in an exquisitely ornate brocade gown, her face full of smug triumph. So elder sister is crying alone in her room? Have you been overwhelmed by sorrow? I cast her a casual glance, and couldn't be bothered to argue with her at all. On the day of our marriages, the Dragon Palace was bustling with excitement, as Yunro and I, the two daughters of the family, were wed and sent off on the same day. To flaunt his favor toward Yunro, Long Ao not only prepared a procession stretching 10 li in red finery, but also had gold and silver ornaments, carried out one chest after another. A smug, self-satisfied smile hung on his face. He truly believed Yunro's womb was blessed, that she would one day bear him a pure-blooded golden dragon. I had just stepped out of my chamber, when Long Ao came over to my side. He lowered his voice, his tone dripping with malice.
Yan Ji, a defective golden dragon like you. Even if you marry into the imperial family, you'll only give birth to lowly, inferior spawn.
In my past life, I drained my very lifeblood to bear him an heir. Yet in his eyes, all those sacrifices were reduced to nothing but the word, bastard. Such humiliation. After all that long bow and I endured in my past life, hearing it now, my heart was already numb. Seeing my face blank and my silence unbroken, he quickly lost interest. He turned instead to Yin Ro beside him, and made a grand, lavish promise.
Yan Ru, rest assured, you are the Crown Prince's fated Crown Princess. I swear, I will make you the most honored woman in all the Dragon Clan.
Yin Ro blushed and nodded shyly. In a gentle voice she said, she cared nothing for empty titles, and only wished to stay by Long Ao's side for all eternity. Before leaving, Long Ao shot me a vicious glare. Then as if he noticed something, he suddenly halted. He deliberately raised his voice, drawing the attention of all the guests.
The auspicious hour has arrived. Yet my third brother hasn't shown up.
Could it be he intends to break off the engagement? I was the only golden dragon in my family, the very hope of our entire clan. Now I had first been publicly humiliated by the crown prince. If the third prince were to annul the marriage as well, what honor would my family have left? For a moment, all the clan elders present showed anger on their faces. Yin Ro shot me a look full of disdain, and said coyly,
Your Highness, please don't speak recklessly. My elder sister is our family's only golden dragon. How could the third prince possibly bring himself to break off the engagement?
She knew full well that Long Ao looked down on my golden dragon bloodline the most. Yet she said this only to fan the flames. And it turned out exactly as she wished. Long Ao's face darkened instantly. He spat in utter contempt.
What damn golden dragon? In my eyes, she's not even as good as a loach in the mud.
The moment those words fell, the crowd erupted in an uproar. Aside from the Dragon Palace's royal bloodline, for a great noble clan to produce a golden dragon was already an exceedingly rare and auspicious phenomenon. Yet from the crown prince's mouth, it was actually likened to some lowly loach. Though everyone was furious, no one dared speak. Yet their eyes brimmed with displeasure.
Royal brother, those words were far too extreme.
At that moment, a clear, cold voice cut through the awkward silence. Everyone turned to look, only to see Long Qianma clad in a silver-white wedding robe, his entire being exuding a cool, noble aura. Striding forward, Long Ao gave a soft scoff.
Third brother, you took your time arriving. I thought you meant to break off the engagement. How could I? To marry Yan Ji is the greatest honor of my life.
Long Qianma walked straight toward me, and waved for the betrothal gifts to be carried inside. Box after box of priceless treasures matched Long Ao's display in sheer grandeur. In front of everyone, he gently took my hand,
And said softly, I went to prepare some modest gifts, so I arrived a little late. Cousin Princess, please don't take offense.
Feeling the warmth in his palm, my heart couldn't help but soften. I gently shook my head. Your Highness is very thoughtful. Of course I wouldn't blame you. Seeing that after my engagement was annulled, I could still marry out with such dignity. Hatred instantly flared in Long Ao's eyes. Through clenched teeth he muttered,
Third brother, you really are devoted and righteous. I only hope you won't regret it someday.
According to Dragon Clan customs, Long Ao as crown prince entered the palace first with Yin Ro. The third prince and I followed closely behind. Along the way, Long Qianma held my hand tightly. That warm touch gave me a feeling of peace and warmth I had never known in my previous life. From time to time, I stole glances at him. He had strikingly handsome features. A tall, upright posture like a pine. His ink-dark, sword-like brows carried a hint of coldness, and his eyes deep as a frozen abyss, yet held a touch of an innate, commanding majesty. When our eyes suddenly met, my heart skipped in a panic. I hurriedly looked away, my ears burning faintly, and the hand holding mine seemed to tighten just a little. After entering the Dragon Palace, we were to head to our respective chambers. Along the way Long Ao had been openly flirting with Yin Ro. He suddenly stopped, turned sideways and looked at Long Qianma. A mocking smile curled at the corner of his lips.
Third brother, allow this crown prince to offer you a kind word of advice. Keep a close eye on your own consort. Don't let her disrupt it. The noble bloodline of our Dragon Palace.
Your Highness, how could you say such a thing? Although my elder sister cannot become the crown princess, she would never commit such a vile act.
Yin Ro put on a show of anger, and lightly patted Long Ao. Yet there was not the slightest reproach in her eyes. The two of them played off each other perfectly, looking every bit like husband and wife. So nauseating to behold. Long Qianma tightened his grip on my hand. He wasn't angry, only spoke in a cold voice.
Elder brother should first keep a close eye on that little green dragon of yours.
Come to think of it, it's rather strange. Long Qianma publicly claimed to be a silver dragon, while Long Ao Without my secret art in this lifetime, could at best sire a green dragon. What earth-shaking means did Yunro use in my previous life? To actually give birth to a golden dragon? At the mention of bloodline, Yunro's expression darkened instantly, her gaze fixed on me with malice, as if it were the truth she least wanted to face. I curled my lips into a smile, letting out a soft chuckle.
May the Crown Prince and my dear sister see all their wishes fulfilled,
and soon give birth to a golden dragon,
to inherit the throne in due course.
This Crown Prince's bloodline is pure. Of course I can sire a golden dragon.
Long Ao was brimming with arrogance, reaching out to pull Yunro into his arms, wearing the look of someone certain of victory, a cripple with no ability to reproduce. Where does such absurd confidence even come from? I couldn't be bothered to spare them another glance. I took Long Qianma's hand and left gracefully. I had no interest in this pointless dispute. After all, the real show was still to come. When we arrived at the sleeping quarters, Long Qianma dismissed everyone else, his expression noticeably grim. His thin lips pressed into a straight line. His gaze burned as it fixed on me. His voice rang with unwavering resolve.
From this day forward, within the palace, I will protect you no matter what. I won't allow anyone to mistreat or humiliate you.
I let out a soft laugh. I reached back and clasped his hand. Of course I believe you. It's just that today, we've offended the Crown Prince. From now on, neither of us will have easy days ahead.
Unless. I met his puzzled expression. A trace of mischief flickered in my eyes. I leaned in closer and pressed a kiss to his lips. Unless we give birth to a golden dragon as soon as possible, and send Long Ao to utter ruin, with no grave to his name. Time slipped quietly by. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed. There was no news at all from the Crown Prince. Yet I was diagnosed as pregnant. The Dragon King was overjoyed when he heard the news. Lavish rewards were bestowed at once, and an imperial edict was proclaimed publicly. Between the two imperial consorts, whoever gives birth to a golden dragon first, will have him immediately abdicate in favor of the worthy. This turn of events was exactly the same as in my past life. Only this time, the one destined to become the dragon mother was me. When news of my pregnancy spread, Long Ao could no longer sit still. He stormed aggressively into our sleeping quarters.
Yunji, what are you so pleased about? It's nothing more than a lowly little green dragon in your belly.
What is there to brag about? He actually had the nerve to mention the little green dragon. Beneath my wide sleeves, I clenched my fists tightly, my nails digging deep into my palms. In my previous life, if it hadn't been to fulfill his dream of having a child, why would I have sacrificed my own lifespan without hesitation? Perform a forbidden dragon clan's secret art, using one's own vital blood to nurture a dragon embryo, only to meet a tragic and miserable death in the end. I close my eyes and take a deep breath, burying my overwhelming hatred deep within my heart. This vengeance for killing my child and taking my life, I swear I will repay it, no matter the cost. At that moment, Long Qianma stepped forward, shielding me behind him, as he faced Long Ao head-on.
No matter what rank he may be, he is still my child. I will protect both mother and child with my life. There's no need to trouble yourself, Imperial brother.
Watching that broad, steady back, my heart suddenly warmed, as if a gentle ray of sunlight quietly poured into my heart. Seeing he could gain nothing, Long Ao's face turned livid with rage. He flung his sleeve and stormed off. Another month passed. Yet there was still no news from the Crown Prince. Even the Dragon King could no longer remain calm. He immediately summoned the Dragon Physician and went to the Crown Prince's chambers. When I received the news, I immediately grabbed Long Qianma and followed. I could hardly wait to see, when Long Ao learns the truth that he is unable to father children, what kind of expression he will wear. When Long Ao learned the Dragon King had arrived with the Dragon Physician, his expression darkened instantly. Forcing himself to stay calm, he said, "Royal Father, what is the meaning of this? I am in excellent health. I hardly look like someone who's ill." The Dragon Physician trembled in fear, glancing nervously at the Dragon King. The Dragon King frowned and waved his hand. "Enough nonsense. Examine the Crown Princess first." I watched coldly from the side, knowing full well they were skirting the real issue. If Yunro were found to be ill, the Dragon Palace would at least save face. At worst, they could simply replace the Crown Princess. But if the Crown Prince Long Ao were the one at fault, how would they possibly clean up the mess? When Long Ao's eyes met mine, his gaze was dark and sinister, a storm brewing in their depths.
Yunji, you came to watch me make a fool of myself, didn't you? What? You think that by marrying that useless third brother, you'll be able to bear a golden dragon? Don't forget, he's nothing more than a silver dragon. Even if you are a golden dragon, even if you carry the golden dragon bloodline, yes, you may be a golden dragon, but I know exactly what you truly are inside. I know you all too well. The two of you will never produce a golden dragon.
He was that certain. Long Qianma stepped protectively in front of me. one brow slightly raised.
His expression calm and composed. Your Majesty, perhaps we should let the dragon physician examine her first.
Beside us, Yinro's eyes flickered with reluctance. But under the authority of the Dragon King and the Crown Prince, she had no choice but to extend her hand. Long Ao let out a cold snort.
And warned, Dragon physician, you'd better examine her thoroughly.
He looked utterly confident. With the memories of his past life, he naturally wasn't worried about Yinro's condition. After all, in their previous life, she had given birth to a golden dragon. Frightened, the dragon physician dropped to his knees with a thud, then carefully took Yinro's pulse. Yinro gripped the handkerchief in her hand tightly, a fine sheen of sweat forming on her forehead. She was clearly terrified that something might be wrong.
After a moment, the dragon physician wiped the sweat from his brow, reporting to the Dragon King. Your Highness, Crown Prince. The Crown Princess is in good health. She's merely experiencing a slight hormonal imbalance. It must be due to an overly anxious desire for a child, causing her emotions to fluctuate too intensely.
After the dragon physician finished speaking, Yinro visibly let out a long sigh of relief. Her whole body slackened noticeably. Long Ao cast me an arrogant, disdainful glance, and declared with absolute confidence.
Royal Father, since Yunru is unharmed, please allow us to return and properly recuperate. In time, we will surely produce a pure-blooded golden dragon, to bring glory and power to the Dragon Palace.
Yes, Royal Father. Yinro will also spare no effort to bear heirs for your Highness. Yinro bowed slightly, a glimmer of golden light flashing in her eyes. Hearing that both of them were fine, the Dragon King was finally reassured.
And laughed heartily. Haha, excellent. I shall await your good news.
I stood in a corner, and let out a quiet, bitter sigh. They examine those who are perfectly healthy, yet no one tends to the truly ill. I really want to see just where this so-called pure golden dragon will come from. After the Dragon King left, Long Qianma and I found it dull as well, and were about to leave, when Long Ao blocked our way. He sneered mockingly.
Did you really think summoning the dragon physician was enough to make a fool of this crown prince? Yan Ji, you're just as despicable as ever.
I smiled calmly, and met his gaze head-on. As the crown prince of the Dragon Palace, married for so long, yet without an heir, isn't that itself a joke? Long Ao spat disdainfully.
Getting pregnant. You really think far too highly of yourself.
A chill flashed through Long Qianma's eyes. The oppressive aura around him dropped sharply.
Royal brother, mind your words. What Yunzi carries is the legitimate bloodline of the Dragon Palace.
Long Ao flung his sleeve in fury. His expression turned icy.
This crown prince will wait and see what exactly it is that you'll give birth to.
Long Qianmo replied coldly.
My child does not trouble Imperial brother to worry.
Then he supported me as we returned to the palace. With long bow, Long Qianma cared for me with even greater devotion, afraid I might be hurt in the slightest. Natural conception and conception through secret arts were indeed worlds apart. In my past life, Long Bao drained most of my vital essence, leaving my body weaker by the day. Later on, I couldn't even get out of bed. Now, although I suffer from morning sickness, my body has grown healthier and fuller. My complexion is rosy. As time passed, several more months went by. There was still no news from the Crown Prince's side. In the end, the Dragon King could no longer hold back. He forcibly ordered the Dragon Physician to examine the Crown Prince. Long Ao sat in his chair the whole time, his face dark. He said coldly,
Dragon Physician, you'd better examine this prince thoroughly. If you make a wrong diagnosis, your head will pay the price.
No matter what was said, he refused to believe that the problem lay with himself. In my past life he never knew that I used a secret art to give birth to the Azure Dragon. Even now he remained utterly convinced, believing himself extraordinarily gifted. The Dragon Physician turned deathly pale with fear. His hands trembled, and for a long while he dared not touch the Crown Prince's pulse. At last, the truth was about to be revealed. Just as I was filled with hope, Yinro beside us suddenly rolled her eyes back and collapsed to the ground in a faint. The scene instantly fell into chaos. The Dragon Physician hurried over to examine her. Not long after, the Dragon Physician's face lit up with joy.
He shouted loudly, Congratulations, Crown Prince. The Crown Princess is with child. It's a confirmed pregnancy.
I frowned sharply. How could this be possible? Could Yunro have secretly learned the Dragon Clan's forbidden technique as well? The Dragon Physician let out a sigh of relief. He wiped the cold sweat from his brow. Yet a trace of doubt lingered in his expression. When his eyes met mine, he hurriedly looked away. He was feeling guilty. Yunro soon woke up. Upon learning she was pregnant, she placed a hand over her belly. A flicker passed through her eyes. A moment of barely perceptible panic. It was quickly replaced by a smug smile. Something about this was definitely wrong. Before I could think it through, the Crown Prince's ecstatic voice rang out.
Ha ha ha, heaven is on my side. I will surely sire a golden dragon. Yun Ji. Just wait and look up to my golden dragon.
The Dragon King was greatly pleased as well. With a grand wave of his hand, the rewards bestowed were all top-tier treasures from the Dragon Palace. Yunro casually picked up a few of the rewarded treasures to toy with. She cast me a sidelong glance, her tone dripping with mockery. Sister-in-law, you've probably never seen so many fine things before, have you? Long Ao wrapped an arm around her and said to me,
How could she have ever seen anything so fine? Only my crown princess is worthy of enjoying such honor.
They're nothing but trivial objects. I don't care about them. What matters most right now is figuring out how Yunro became pregnant. After returning to the palace, I immediately wrote home. My mother was puzzled by how I knew the Dragon Clan's secret technique, but she did not press me for answers. He only sent back word that the Dragon Clan's rules cannot be broken. At present, Mother is the only one in the family who knows this secret art. It has not been passed down to anyone else. That's strange. Could it be that? A terrifying thought began to take shape in my mind. If Yunro truly dared to taint the Dragon Palace bloodline, she would be punished with the harshest execution. How could she dare to take such a tremendous risk? In my previous life, Long Ao summoned all the Azure Dragons and had Long Bao undergo a bloodline test, accusing me of promiscuity and shamelessness. Little did he know that now this green hat is firmly planted on his own head. I stroked my slightly rounded belly, feeling within the powerful aura of a dragon soul. A faint smile curved my lips. Long Bao, in this life, Mother will protect you with all she has. Long Qianma walked in from outside, his expression slightly displeased. What's wrong? I asked, sitting beside him. He replied in a low voice.
Father King has ordered me to go overseas, to deal with the sea beasts uprising. You must not go out these days, lest they stir up trouble while I'm away.
I knew exactly who he meant, and I knew he was worried about me. Given my current condition, I naturally wouldn't invite trouble. Long Qianma reminded me again and again, and arranged for his trusted guards to stand watch. Only then did he reluctantly depart. To avoid running into Long Ao and the others, I limited my after-meal walks to the area around my residence, but it was as if he had people watching me. Whenever he saw me in the courtyard, he would come over to boast, going on and on, insisting that his child was destined to be a golden dragon, while mine could only be a mere azure dragon. I was utterly tired of hearing it. For a bit of peace and quiet, I simply shut my doors and refused to see anyone. But I underestimated his obsession. Long Ao and Yunro barged straight into my chambers. Their faces were brimming with pride. Yunro was decked out in glittering jewels, as if she wished to flaunt every gift the Dragon King had ever bestowed upon her. Truly vulgar beyond measure. Yunro covered her mouth and giggled coyly.
Sister-in-law, do you know, we invited a dragon physician to examine my pulse today. He said the dragon child in my womb is brimming with spiritual power, just as it was when he examined the dragon queen herself.
That proves I will surely bear a golden dragon.
I cast her a cold glance at her radiant face. She truly had outrageous audacity. But which wild man had she slept with to conceive a child with the aura of a golden dragon? Yin Zi, do you remember the edict father issued? Beside her, Long Ao looked immensely pleased. Yet his eyes were filled with a twisted, pathological fixation. In my previous life, he had already been crown prince, but because I gave birth to a little azure dragon, he felt utterly humiliated, and even believed it cost him the throne. In this life, with Yunro bearing a golden dragon for him, he naturally thought the throne was his for the taking. Yet he had no idea the real problem lay with himself. In both past and present lives, he was never destined to be emperor. I lifted a brow slightly, my expression calm and unreadable. Of course I remember. Then I wish you every success. Anger flared in Long Ao's eyes. He had come today intending to provoke me and humiliate me thoroughly. Now that I showed no reaction at all, he was naturally displeased.
Yun Ji, if I inherit the throne, the first thing I'll do is have you sliced to pieces, to vent the hatred burning in my heart. Are you truly not going to beg me to spare you?
His tone grew harsher. His face twisted with fury. I gently shook my head, a mocking smile curling at my lips. Who ends up sparing whom is far from certain. His expression darkened instantly. He strode toward me, and suddenly clamped his hand tightly around my throat, lifting me clear off the ground.
What gives you the right to remain so calm? Do you really think I wouldn't dare kill you?
Long Ao's eyes brimmed with tangible killing intent.
Yun Ji, I dream of killing you.
As his grip tightened further, suffocation closed in, and my vision began to blur. Just as I was about to risk everything and expose his infertility, a streak of golden light suddenly shot in from outside the hall, striking Long Ao hard and blasting him aside. With nothing to hold me up, I was flung away, only to fall into a warm, steady embrace. Long Qianma looked at me, eyes filled with anxiety. His voice trembled from sheer panic.
Yunzi, are you alright? I'm sorry.
I came too late. I gasped for air, forcing out a faint, fragile smile, and shook my head to show I was fine. Given this second life, I would never be so foolish again. Besides, I was certain that Long Ao wouldn't truly kill me now, at least not before he ascends the throne. With his arrogant nature, he would make sure I witnessed him sire a golden dragon, to prove the purity of his bloodline, while I had born only a little azure dragon, so he could place all the blame on my so-called arrogance. Long Qianma helped me to my feet. From his entire body radiated a chilling, murderous aura. A powerful presence surged outward in all directions.
Long Ao, you've crossed my bottom line again and again.
Do you really think I wouldn't dare touch you? A faint golden light began to gather around him, flickering in and out of view. My heart jolted. Could Long Qianma also be a golden dragon? Now was not the time to reveal this. I grabbed Long Qianma's arm, my voice soft as I pleaded.
Qianma, you mustn't. It's not worth dirtying your hands for someone like him.
The killing intent around Long Qianma slowly faded. He scooped me up in his arms. His voice, restrained yet seething with anger, rang with menace. He roared at Long Ao, who was scrambling up from the ground. Get lost. The sound of smashing objects erupted behind us. After a long while, Long Ao's unwilling, venomous voice rang out.
Yun Ji, I will be watching you. Let's see what kind of monster you give birth to.
Long Qianma's arms tightened around me. I leaned against his chest, listening to his steady, powerful heartbeat. An inexplicable sense of peace washed over me. Exhausted after the fright, I gradually drifted to sleep. I seemed to hear him whisper in my ear.
Yunzi, even if it costs me my life, I will protect you and our child.
I slept deeply and peacefully. When I woke, it was already the Long Qianma was arranging small toys for a child, along with a delicate little wooden crib. When he saw I was awake, he hurriedly set everything down and strode quickly toward me. Are you feeling unwell anywhere? His flustered look made me It's only a pregnancy. I'm not that fragile. Yet a wave of bitterness welled up inside me. In my previous life, I conceived Long Bao through a forbidden secret art. I became nothing but skin and bones, barely able to get out of bed. Back then, Long Ao showed not the slightest understanding. Instead, he spread rumors everywhere, claiming I lacked the fortune to withstand the Golden Dragon's spiritual power. He never once truly cared about me. Thinking of that fleeting flash of golden light yesterday, I took his hand and asked if he was a golden dragon. Long Qianma froze for a moment. After a few bitter smiles, he finally told me everything. He was indeed a golden dragon. But his mother, the consort, didn't want him dragged into the battle for the throne, or the fratricidal schemes among brothers. So when he was born, she used a secret technique to conceal his bloodline, disguising him as a silver dragon. So he had always been a golden dragon. No wonder Yunro gave birth to a golden dragon in my previous life. If she had borne his child, then it wouldn't be surprising at all. For my safety, Long Qianma personally informed the Dragon King of the situation. For now he refuses to leave for anything, staying by my side every moment, until I safely deliver Long Bao. Under his attentive care, I even put on a healthy bit of weight, my complexion glowing. One early morning, a sudden searing pain struck. I frowned tightly, clutching my abdomen. Long Qianmo reacted instantly, scooping me up and carrying me back to bed. The dragon physician, who had long been on standby, hurried in, quickly preparing the supplies for the delivery. The third prince's consort is about to give birth. In an instant, the entire palace fell into a flurry of activity. This time, during childbirth, perhaps because I conceived naturally, in accordance with the heavenly Tao, I did not suffer much. It was nothing like my previous life, when I nearly died from the pain in bed. Outside, Long Qianma was pacing anxiously. After finally being allowed in, he knelt by my bedside, his face full of anguish as he held my hand. You've suffered so much. Before long, the dragon physician, with brocade cloth, carried over an egg glowing with a faint azure light. She walked toward us, looking somewhat troubled. But Long Qianma didn't mind at all. He carefully took the egg and placed it in my arms. His face shone with the joy of
Yunzi, look, this is our child.
There was no disgust or disdain in his eyes. In my previous life, when Long Ao saw it was an azure egg, his face darkened instantly, ignoring that I had just given birth, and was still weak. He dragged us like dead dogs, dragging both me and Long Bao, to undergo a bloodline test with the azure dragons of the clan. Now comparing the two, the difference is like heaven and earth. Suddenly, a startled cry rang out from outside. Where's the dragon physician? Hurry, come with me. The crown princess is about to give birth as well. The dragon physician looked puzzled, muttering as she packed up her things. The crown princess conceived several months after the third prince's consort. How could she be giving birth now? Though confused, she didn't dare delay. She hurried off with her medical kit. I found it strange as well. Could it be a premature birth? Seeing my worried glance toward the door, Long Qianma tucked the blanket around me
and said gently, "Don't concern yourself with what's happening outside. If the sky falls, I'll hold it up for you. Just focus on recovering and taking care of yourself."
After I held the dragon egg, Long Qianma then placed it onto a small wooden crib nearby and carefully tucked it in with a blanket. Before long, news came from outside the door. The crown princess had laid a golden egg. It was said the golden glow lit up half the palace chamber, so it truly was a golden egg. Long Ao, it seems your grand show is finally about to begin. After a month of recuperation, the Dragon Palace hosted a grand banquet, nominally called a celebration feast, but in truth meant to infuse the dragon eggs with spiritual power. We were all required to attend with our dragon eggs, so the Dragon King could bestow his origin power upon them, ensuring their safe and successful hatching. Members of my family also arrived. To my surprise, father came with Yinro's mother. I lowered my gaze, feeling deeply wronged on my mother's behalf. This is the reality of family. Roar. Father walked right past me, heading straight for Yinro behind me. His aged face bloomed with a beaming smile.
And he said with immense pride, "To have born a golden dragon. You are truly the glory of our family. I am proud of you."
So-called family bonds are nothing more than this when need are at stake. I let out a long breath and stayed by Long Qianma's side. He quietly freed one hand beneath his sleeve and clasped mine tightly, giving me a profound sense of security. At the banquet, everyone crowded around Long Ao and his wife, showering them with flattery. Meanwhile, Long Qianma and I were left in the cold, with only the two maids attending.
The crown prince is truly impressive. A golden egg right from the start. That's an auspicious omen.
Exactly. The crown prince is a bona fide golden dragon. A mighty father never sires a weak son. Naturally, the offspring would be a golden dragon.
Long Ao listened to all the flattery, his arrogance practically reaching the heavens.
He laughed loudly and said, "My child, as the crown princess, is naturally exceptional. How could some lowly mongrel ever compare?"
Yinro stood nearby, dressed in luxurious robes, her eyes brimming with smug delight. The two of them noticed us. Long Ao strode over, contempt filling his gaze.
"So I hear you laid another green egg. I told you your bloodline was impure. You're only fit to give birth to something like this. A child not worthy of the stage."
The golden egg behind him, constantly flaunting Long Ao's pride.
"And you too, sister-in-law, why not cover that egg with a piece of cloth? It's so embarrassing if others see it. After all, our dragon clan cares about dignity."
Yinro covered her mouth, speaking with a look of disdain. The crowd showed expressions of disgust, whispering among themselves, though a green egg isn't the lowest grade, in an occasion like this, it truly looked rather shabby, and was seen as an affront to dragon authority. I ignored everyone's looks, holding the green egg tightly in my arms.
I declared loudly, "This is my child. Does his rank really matter? As long as he is healthy, in my eyes, he is more precious than anything."
My father stood to the side, sighing in bitter disappointment. "I thought you would amount to something. Who knew it would turn out like this? The family can no longer rely on you." After saying that, he turned away to curry favor with Yinro. At that moment, the Dragon King emerged. When he saw the green egg in my arms, a flash of disdain crossed his eyes. Out of respect for the third prince, he said nothing. When he gave Yinro that golden egg, and infused it with spiritual power, his face was lit with delight. He truly spared no effort, pouring in a great deal of spiritual energy. But when it came to my green egg, he casually gave only a token amount, clearly perfunctory. Long Qianma frowned, about to lose his temper, but I stopped him. I shook my head at him. One's own child cannot rely on others, especially not someone so snobbish. "Look, is the golden egg about to hatch?" Someone in the crowd suddenly shouted. Everyone turned to look. They saw the golden egg nurtured in spiritual aura, its surface splitting with cracks, golden light bursting forth. To witness a golden dragon hatch in person was an honor granted to you all. Long Ao stood guard beside the golden egg, still dissatisfied that it was hatching too slowly. He sent another surge of spiritual power into it. "My son, come out and show everyone your might." As the shell finally split apart, a blinding golden light flooded the entire hall. Everyone was awed by the overwhelming aura, holding their breath as they stared at the egg. When the last fragment of shell fell away, there were no majestic dragon horns, no sharp dragon claws. What emerged from the shell was unexpectedly a long creature flicking its tongue. A snake. Its body was coated in sticky fluid, letting out waves of cold, sinister hissing. How could it possibly be a snake? The crowd murmured in shock and disbelief, exchanging bewildered glances. The dignified dragon crown prince had hatched a golden snake. Though it shared the same color, even the species itself has changed. The smile on Long Ao's face froze instantly. His entire body went rigid. Then he lunged forward. Grabbing the slick little snake, he held it up before his eyes. Examining it closely, he let out an enraged roar.
How could this be? This is not this crown prince's bloodline.
He violently flung the young snake aside. Then he dashed forward in a single stride, and slapped Yunro hard across the face. His eyes burned scarlet with rage.
Fine then. What exactly did you do? Whose bastard is this?
I did nothing. The dragon physician said it was a golden dragon. Yunro clutched her cheek, her face deathly pale, her eyes filled with terror. Ah! Heaven bless my tongue snake clan. A golden snake unseen for 100 years has finally been born. Just then, from within the crowd, a man dressed in dark brocade suddenly rushed out. Carefully, he lifted the young snake from the ground into his palms, his face blazing with fanatic devotion. It was Mo Qing, the 5th prince of the tongue snake clan. The well-informed elders of the Dragon Palace immediately recognized him. Seeing his identity exposed, Mo Qing turned to flee. But the Dragon King blocked his, a lowly species like the tongue snake. What right do you have to appear in my Dragon Palace, and even dare to taint the dragon bloodline? The Dragon King was enraged. Dragon might surge forth. Mo Qing was restrained. He simply stopped trying to escape, holding the young snake tightly to his chest. He burst into laughter at Long Ao. Long Ao, do you really think you're so noble? It was your own crown princess who begged me to help her conceive an heir. She said the crown prince was a useless man, that he couldn't give her a child. The crowd stared at the crown prince in shock, though no one dared say it aloud. Their eyes were filled with mockery. The crown prince had been cuckolded. And worse, he was a barren, useless man. Long Ao's face darkened with fury. His whole body trembled. He reached out and clamped his hand around Yunro's throat, lifting her off the ground.
You! How dare you! I will have you cut into 1,000 pieces.
Yunro trembled in terror, crying out, You're high. He forced me. I've always been loyal to you. How could I ever betray you? I was trying to bear a golden dragon. I wanted to give birth to a golden dragon. It was all for your highness's grand ambition. But Long Ao had already lost all reason. How could he possibly spare her? Seeing that her pleas were useless, Yunro mustered all her strength to pry Long Ao's hand away, then scrambled to Mo Qing's side. She roared. Why did you lie to me? Didn't you say it was a golden dragon? You claimed you carried the hidden golden dragon bloodline. Mo Qing let out a cold snort, and sneered. If I hadn't said that, would you have willingly borne a golden serpent for this prince? Fool. The truth was laid bare. Now I finally understood. No wonder Yunro laid a golden egg. It carried the royal bloodline of the Tengsha clan. It was golden as well. But she never expected she'd been deceived, truly believing she would bear a golden dragon. Passing the fake off as real, she plotted to seize the throne of the crown princess. Yunro staggered back several steps, her face filled with disbelief, her mind collapsing completely. How could this happen? I clearly gave birth to a golden dragon. She kept shaking her head. Then she suddenly burst into hysterical laughter. Pointing at Long Ao, she shouted. Haha Long Ao. You impotent man. And you still expected me to bear you a golden dragon? Why don't you take a look at whether you even have the ability? If I hadn't overheard the dragon healer, I would have kept foolishly thinking you're the one who can't. This is all because you're incapable. And yet you still dared to dream. You deserve to be cuckolded. You want to kill me? Then you can die too. Long Ao's face darkened, so grim it seemed to drip with fury. A cold flash streaked from his hand. His sword pierced straight through Yunro's heart. Seeing this, Mo Qing transformed into a giant serpent and tried to flee. But the enraged Long Ao transformed into a golden dragon, and slammed him to the ground with one claw, crushing him alive. After returning to his human form, he looked at the small serpent on the ground, lifted his foot, and ground it down until nothing but bone fragments remained. The farce ended in a bloody massacre. At that very moment, the quiet green egg I had been holding in my arms suddenly cracked with a crisp snap, as the fissures rapidly spread. A presence far greater than that golden serpent just now, 100 times stronger, pure radiant violet gold holy light, burst forth from within, forcing everyone to shield their eyes. A young yet commanding dragon's roar resounded through the great hall. Then a pure golden dragon burst from the shell, soaring straight into the sky. After circling once, it hovered majestically in midair. A 5-clawed golden dragon. The Dragon King's eyes widened in shock, his face filled with disbelief. The legendary 5-clawed golden dragon. The heaven-chosen next dragon. Everyone was stunned speech. The green egg that had once been scorned had actually hatched the noblest five-clawed golden dragon.
How is that possible? How could someone like you give birth to a golden dragon? Why?
Seeing this, Long Ao's eyes burned red with fury. Jealousy drove him completely insane. He narrowed his eyes and let out a dragon's roar that shook the heavens. Then, without hesitation, he lunged at the young dragon in the sky. Long Bao! I cried out in terror. Without a second thought, I rushed into the air. A dragon's roar echoed. Long Qianma instantly transformed into a golden dragon, standing shoulder to shoulder with me. As we confronted Long Ao together, Long Ao coiled his massive dragon body. Forbidden golden light enveloped him. It was power gained by burning his own life force. The overwhelming pressure stunned everyone present. Blinded by hatred, Long Ao had lost all reason. Every strike he made was lethal. I had only just given birth. I was no match for him. To protect me, Long Qianma took a heavy blow head-on.
Yan Ji, you don't deserve to bear a golden dragon. If I can't have it,
then you can all die. Long Ao sneered viciously, gathering all his power into his palm. He charged straight toward Long Bao in the sky, intent on killing the future Dragon King before he could grow. Boom! Just as his claws were about to touch Long Bao, the clear sky suddenly darkened with storm clouds. Thunder roared. Heaven itself was enraged. With a deafening crash, a thick bolt of golden heavenly lightning crashed down from the sky. It struck Long Ao with deadly precision. After a shrill, agonized scream, Long Ao slammed heavily on. His body was scorched pitch black. Smoke rose from him. He was dead. For defying the will of heaven and harming the heaven-chosen child of his own clan. He was blasted to death by Mother. A soft, sweet voice called. Long Bao flew over and affectionately coiled around my wrist. Miraculously, my injuries healed in an instant. Then he flew off to heal Long Qianma as well. A flash of golden light. Long Qianma rose to his mother. Long Bao nuzzled against my cheek, full of affection and attachment. Long Qianma walked over and wrapped an arm around me, his eyes brimming with tenderness as he teased Long Bao. Watching this warm scene, I couldn't shake the feeling that it wasn't real. It was beautiful, like a dream. Looking at the charred corpse on the ground, I slowly walked over. I crouched down beside his ear, and in a voice only the two of us could hear, I whispered softly, "Fortunately, in this life, you didn't choose me. My husband. What a miserable death you've met. Do you know that the little green dragon in our previous life was created by me, using the Dragon Clan's secret art, at the cost of half my life's devotion? All for a useless man like you. The only flesh and blood I bore for you. He was meant to be your child. Yet you killed him without mercy. Long Ao, you severed your own bloodline with your own hands. This is your retribution. You should have died long ago." After I finished speaking, Long Ao, who had already drawn his last breath, suddenly snapped his eyes open. Within those clouded eyes, his eyes were filled with shock and unwillingness, fear, and endless regret. A mouthful of black blood burst from his lips. The light around him faded. He stopped breathing entirely. He died with his eyes wide open. None of that matters anymore. I rose, holding Long Bao in my arms, and leaned into Long Qianma's warm embrace. My past life was filled with misery, but in this life, heaven has shown me mercy. Not only have I taken my revenge, I have also found a true love and our precious child. For the rest of my days, they will surely be radiant and extraordinary, and the years will be gentle and serene.